Both received instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect of both of you. Shake hands and come out boxing.
Well, if this fight lives up to the previous time they met last November, then it could be a little cracker. Andy Morris here, the champion, British Featherweight champion. He's one of the neatest technicians around in boxing at the moment. Not a huge one-punch knockout artist, but he really has just about every move in the book. And John Simpson as well, 23 years old, same age as Morris, slightly the taller man in the green and white shorts. He also a lovely, crisp, sweet puncher and a very, very good technician. In the end, when they fought last November, that was up in Glasgow, Morris won by a fairly comfortable margin, but in fact, my way of looking at it, Duke, the fight wasn't as comfortable as the scores suggested, and Morris really had to be at his best to come home as the winner. But I know this is a fighter you really admire.
Johnny's got, as you've already said, just about every punch in the book. I've said this many a time, what impresses me most about Morris is his footwork. He has very good footwork, and as you can already see in this fight, he's changed his tactics already. He's starting this fight flat-footed to get maximum power on his shots, John. He's looking to try and do a number on Simpson if he can.
Well, I think he was a little bit frustrated, Morris, by his last performance against the lad from Leicester, Rendell Munro. Munro gave him a pretty decent argument. That was back in April, his last fight. And Munro may be a little bit underestimated, a little bit underrated in the boxing game. He's one of those guys who's a little bit of an avoided quantity. And Morris said afterwards, I couldn't quite get off, I couldn't quite get out of second gear. And well, that's maybe so, but I think he was also fighting a very decent fighter in Munro. Here today, though, he wants to really post some letter of intent towards what he might be able to do in 2007. Wants to be busier, he says, in the new year.
Well, you know, Simpson gave a very good account of himself, John, when they boxed previously, but he just let it slip away in the dying stretches of the fight and just allowed Morris just to get off and just use all of his lateral movement. But this will suit Simpson just a little bit better, with Morris being a lot more sort of stagnant, a much more stationary target.
Simpson from Greenock. He is Morris's mandatory challenger for the title. Trained, incidentally, by a former top-class amateur in Danny Lee Jr. Andy Morris comes out of the Bob Shannon gym in Whythenshawe. Father is a board steward, and his dad. And it's a quiet sort of opening to the fight. Morris may be just having slightly the better of it, I'm not sure.
Well, it's just, there's nothing in it right now, John. Simpson's giving a very good account of himself. He's keeping a nice defence. He's just teeing off with one or two nice hooks. He's meeting Morris punch for punch at this present time.
Morris looking to make this third time lucky, going for this title, and ending it with one or two nice, snappy left-hand leads.
Stop!
Work hard on that job.
And back here at the Excel Centre, not too much between Andy Morris and John Simpson.
It's a nice crisp hook that Morris is trying to land. As I said, John, he's got his feet firmly planted on the floor, looking for maximum power in these shots.
Andy Morris in his second defence of the title. Needed a couple of visits. Well, that's a good right hand from Morris.
Cracking shot.
Couple of visits to the scale yesterday, did Morris, to make the weight. Came in a few ounces over, had to go away and return to the steam room, but that's the best punch of the fight so far, that right hand which Morris threw. It really made Simpson blink.
Cracking shot, John, created the angle for it beautifully. Took just a slight step to his right and just threw the shot. It was a good shot. Said before, he's looking to get maximum power on these shots, keeping a tight defence.
Simpson, who after he fought Morris, came to a fight against Steve Foster and lost that one narrowly. Foster, who subsequent to that, lost his WBU title. That was supposed to be a big fight somewhere down the line for Morris. Morris against Foster, but I guess that one not likely to happen now. Or at least not in the immediate future. That's a good body shot from Simpson. Both looking to tee off with hurtful shots.
They certainly are, John. See, Morris has the ability. What he's doing, he's trying to walk Simpson down, you know, make him miss. And as he makes him miss, he's counter-punching with good success. There's a nice variety, a nice streamline of combinations come through. Also, what I like about Morris, John, he takes bite-sized punches. He doesn't put everything into every punch. He tries to tee up the shot if he can. If it's not there, he pops away.
Just keeps himself busy. As an amateur, he was a lightweight, was Morris. Now, of course, boils himself down to the 9-stone limit as a featherweight, and he is quite big-framed for a featherweight. Keeps himself tremendously fit, even when he's not actually in action. He works as a landscape gardener, so he's got plenty of lifting and hard work to do away from boxing.
Those body shots are getting through Simpson. I think they're hurting him, John.
Close opening round, but I think that Morris has been landing the more meaningful shots in this period. There you go, good work. 1, 2, 3.
Just slightly better variety by Morris. Simpson just getting outworked.
British featherweight title, second round coming to a close. There's Andy Morris in his corner, having words of advice from Bob Shannon, and Duke, he's been told, plant your feet, allow yourself the possibility to really tee off and throw punches meaningfully.
Well, you know, that's what I said at the beginning of this fight, John. That's precisely what he's doing.
Got the impression, talking to Andy yesterday at the weigh-in, that he fancied his chances of forcing a stoppage this time. That's a good right hand from Simpson, though. First good shot of the round. He fancied his chances of taking Simpson out this time, forcing a stoppage. And I tell you what, that'd be good if he could do it. Simpson pushed Dazzo Williams really close in his first challenge for the title back in 2004. That was on Williams' home territory down there in Hereford. And then he had that fight against Morris. When's the distance there? So if Morris could get him out, that would be a very impressive performance.
I'll tell you what, John, Morris just took a cracking right hand from Simpson. As you were saying that, he walked straight onto it. Morris just has to give Simpson just a little bit more head movement. You know, Simpson's going to be strong and very game in the first half of this fight. So what's required is plenty of head movement and more variety, I think, from Morris.
Neither of these guys really have the one single concussive punch, and they're just manoeuvring for advantage at this stage. Good work that from Morris, good solid body shots.
Beautiful uppercut to start that combination, John. Lead left uppercut, and then, as you said, the body shots came in. Nice two-fisted attack.
Got quite badly banged up, as I remember, did Morris in his fight against Monroe. He can bruise, doesn't he? He's got quite very lean, sort of gaunt features.
Yeah, he certainly does.
Pale-skinned. Simpson just waiting his opportunity to try and tee off with hurtful shots of his own. That looked a little bit low from Morris. Got away with it, though. Referee here tonight for this contest, John Keane.
So that's better lateral movement from Morris on the retreat. He's trying to counter the attack, and he's doing good. Simpson's working behind the jab as his corner had instructed him to, but needs to inject more pace in his work.
Last 30 seconds of the third round. Championship distance, of course, featherweight. This is the British featherweight title. It's due to go 12 rounds. last few seconds of another fascinating round. Not a lot between them at this stage. While you've been away, it's been fascinating to hear what's being said in the corners. Andy Morris being told you've got to work more behind your jab, while Simpson being told the further this goes, the more his pace is going to go. So just stay on him and be ready to throw your combinations.
Oh, beautiful sneak right hand there by Morris to start this round, and the left hook, John.
Good body shot as well. Starts it fast.
Maybe Simpson's banking on the fact that Morris is tight at the weight, and that's why he's fighting at a slower pace.
He was only a matter of 4 ounces or so over at the weigh-in yesterday, and he just took a walk back to the hotel, went into the steam room for a few minutes, and that was it. Back 20 minutes later, and he was comfortably on the weight.
Yeah, those few ounces though, John, on a little guy, that's quite a lot of weight.
Simpson working away at the body. If there is a weakness on the weight, if there is a perceived lack of stamina, if Morris is tight at the weight, then that's something that she'll be trying to exploit. That's the area that he'll be trying to dictate terms.
So what I like about Morris also now, John, now that he has slowed his pace ever so slightly, you know, he's really getting his turning from the hips and the waist and the shoulders simultaneously to get maximum power behind these shots.
It does look to me as 1 or 2 from Morris are straying a little bit low. Simpson's waistband pulled up pretty high. Certainly on the margin, on the borderline. That's a good right hand from Simpson. A little buzz of encouragement from his corner, from Danny Lee Jr. and Brendan Ingle I see in there, the veteran trainer from Sheffield, acting as a corner man for John Simpson.
I think Morris might have a cut, John, on the left eye.
Has he? I think he's just dabbed at that left eye. Not sure if, I think it may have been a punch which did it.
That was that right hand that Simpson threw earlier on.
Well, I was saying earlier on, Duke, he can mark up. He has a tendency to cut and to bruise up, does Morris? Yes, he's definitely cut around the left eyebrow. And Simpson will take heart from that.
But the champion's adamant about, you know, he wants to do a better job than their first meeting. But in doing so, John, he's picking up just a little bit of eye damage now.
Well, it's a close fight so far. I've got Morris ahead, but not by a great deal. And now Bob Shannon's going to have to go to work in that corner on the cut. That's going to be his first priority. And let's see how bad... Oh, I tell you what, that's not good, Duke. Look at that.
Oh, it's a nasty cut, John.
There's some work to be done there. Maybe we can see how it came. Oh, slashing uppercut, and it might... Oh, it could have been that one.
It was that right hand right there. Just
might have been down. The second one there. There you go.
Just chopped down on that right hand.
It was the second shot, I think, Duke. There was the uppercut, and then this bang. That's what did it.
That's the shot, John.
Well, they've got a lot of work to do there. A very similar cut yesterday in the fight over in Dagenham, afflicting John Thaxton when he won the British lightweight title. And here you see the Simpson corner altogether more relaxed. That is a bad cut. That is a bad cut, Duke, and if Simpson continues targeting that one, it is going to be interesting to see whether or not he's going to be able to carry on. Well, we will see. I don't think he's been able to really staunch the bleeding. It's a bad cut, that one.
The thing is, John, also it's above his eye, John, so the blood will impair his vision.
Not done by a clash of heads, no accidental element about it. It was a solid right hand which did it from Simpson, and Simpson now will sense the possibility of a terrific upset. Is it going to be a case of third time lucky? Good shot.
And Morris just taking little bite-sized steps just around this ring. You know, left and right, just needs to keep moving round to his right.
Just explain to people who are not maybe aficionados of the sport, how does Morris now try and keep Simpson from targeting that damaged left eye? What's he got to do?
Well, the beauty about Morris, John, is that he needs to revert back to type now and get back on his toes and get back to the snappy boxing, which is what he's accustomed to doing. He's changed his tactics. He's set himself down from the outset of this fight and decided to trade with Simpson.
And meantime, from a Simpson perspective, he's got to narrow down the ring and find that target.
Absolutely.
He's got to work on the damaged eye.
All Simpson has to do is just keep doing what he's been doing from the outset of this fight and keep throwing that right hand. Keep popping the jabs and throwing the right hand.
And already the damage is opening up again. There's a low blow there, but look at that mask of blood around the left eye of Andy Morris. That is a mess, and the blood is flowing steadily. Bob Shannon in the corner. The Manchester trainer is going to have a lot of hard work if Morris is going to see his way through this. And as so often as this happens, Simpson has really upped his work rate and has taken great confidence out of what's happening in there. Oh, that's good work from Morris. Good snapping shots. Simpson, though, takes it well. Got a good chin, John Simpson.
He has, John, yeah. And he's keeping it tucked right down into his chest. But, you know, that blood will give him all the encouragement that he needs.
Well, that's a good shot, and I think that was pretty much on the mark. That left hand was right there. That's what Morris has to try and avoid, and it's precisely what Simpson needs. The referee's going to have another look at it. This fight, I tell you what, this fight might not have a long way to go. He's sending Simpson to the neutral corner, and they're having a look at this. And John Keane is very concerned about what there is in there, and I think he's going to say enough. I think he might be stopping this. The fight's over. The fight is over, Duke. He's lost on this cut. It is a shocker, and your heart goes out to Andy Morris. But John Simpson, the 23-year-old from Scotland, has won the British Featherweight title. And credit where credit's due, that injury was caused by a genuine on-the-button right-hander. He got the shot that he needed, and let's have another look at exactly how that happened. Here it was. There was the uppercut, and then this one. That's where it came.
The chopping right hand, John, just caught him flush, opened the cut. Unfortunately,
straight away opened it up.
Unfortunately now for Morris, he's an ex-champion after such a bright start. But all credit to Simpson for taking his opportunity.
Well, it's one of those things. He has a tendency to cut, and that is a nightmare scenario for this young fella from Manchester, who's such an accomplished boxer. But look at that moment of jubilation, and fair play to John Simpson. He worked the cut tremendously well once it opened up and did precisely what was needed.
Yeah, and look what it means to him, Johnny. Absolutely delighted with himself. Can't believe it. Third time lucky for him.
So there we are. We'll have confirmation now, I think, of the decision. We have a new champion in John Simpson.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 27 seconds of round number 5, due to a severe laceration above Andy Morris's left eye, referee John Keane has had no alternative but to stop the contest. Therefore, your winner, and he is the new featherweight champion of Great Britain, from Greenwich, Scotland, John Simpson.
Poor Andy Morris is stifling back tears of disappointment, but it's celebration time for John Simpson. That is part of the cruelty sometimes of boxing, but for one man's disappointment, there is a moment of sublime triumph for John Simpson. Champion at last.